Radio London.
We're going to have a chat about inflation. Yeah, that sounds like
Your London and your life.
I'm just someone that sits with clients looking to buy a house, trying to put together a plan that they can afford.
You know, they had hopes and dreams like we all do, and I think it's really important that we remember that.
BBC Radio London.
This city is riddled with cricket pitches, and they'll all be busy on a day like this.
And I'm also a big fan of Ben Stokes.
He dropped the catch, though.
He did, but that's cricket, isn't it?
It
That's
is,
the way
isn't it?
things go.
News, information, and a place to talk.
Good morning. It is 8:36 and a very warm welcome to you. The Kickstarter is live and kicking, so you've got 25 minutes to get your suggestions in. The theme is animals, so any song with an animal in the title. 81333. Start your message with the word London or give us a call 0800 731 2000. Anaya is on the phones and she is ready to go. I will introduce you to my guest, which will also explain why the Kickstarter theme this morning is animals, because my special guest might not have much to say, which does seem like an odd person to then invite onto a radio show. But what I will say is my guest is indeed a celebrity. When I told one of our team members who was on the show today, they gasped. They audibly gasped. So they did. And they said, he's so famous. And indeed he is. He rides around London in the front basket of his owner's bike, and he has way more social media followers than you and I. It is Sigrid the cat and his owner, Travis Nelson. Morning, Travis.
Good morning.
Thank you for coming in with Sigrid, who, for my listeners, let's just tell you, there you go, Sigrid. You can hear Sigrid in the corner there. Sigrid is lying, basking on the table, on the desk. There you go. Sigrid saying good morning to you. Travis, tell us a little bit about the kind of cat Sigrid is.
Well, Sigrid is a Norwegian forest cat.
Okay.
She's white and she has blue eyes, which means that she has an 80% chance of being deaf, which she is. She's completely deaf. Which I often say is a superpower because, you know, traffic and loud noises and so on don't scare her. So
fine. When you're riding around in your bike together, she can just happily get on with it. And she's after some treats, isn't she? She's going for a little walk. We'll let her go for a little walk around the studio. She's inquisitive, isn't she? She's on the hunt. She might step on the desk and press some buttons and we could end up going off air, but I just say that'd be more fun. Element of surprise. Tell us a little bit, when did you get Sigrid?
Well, I got her as a kitten, so about 6 years ago I picked her up. I bought her near Los Angeles, actually, and I lived in San Francisco at the time. And then about 3 years ago we came over here to London.
Tell me the thinking behind getting the cat in the first place, and did you know that the cat was going to become a celebrity and that you were going to ride around in your bike with the cat, or was it just I'm going to get a pet and it has evolved?
Yeah, it's just kind of evolved. I had no idea she would be a celebrity. What happened is I came here for a job. I came to London for a job right before the pandemic, and then I lost my job during the pandemic.
Right.
And so being American, I didn't have a work visa. So
Okay.
I was just, I couldn't work, so I was just riding my bike. And one day I thought, let's grab Sigrid and take her along on the bike ride, and she loved it, and everyone else seemed to love it, and it just kind of grew out of that.
How old is Sigrid now?
She's 6 now, just a little over 6.
And when did you first take her on the bike?
I guess it was about 3 years ago, it was like right when the pandemic hit. Yeah.
Okay, Sigrid has now crawled into the corner and is settling down by the wires. I mean, of all the places that she wants to settle down, in amongst the wires is where she's got, you know what, power to her. And she was always fine on the bike.
Yeah. I mean, right when she was a kitten, I was taking her on walks. So I used to take her, to Golden Gate Park for picnics, and I've taken her to the beach a few times. So by the time I put her on the bike, it was just like another thing that we were doing. She didn't even think twice.
Okay. So can I ask you something? Because cats on leads and taking cats for walks, not a British thing. Doesn't happen, right? And last summer, I was in New York, and one of the first things I saw was a cat on a lead in the park. And everyone just cooed at it, and it was the most normal thing. And I stood there and I was having one of those moments where I thought, am I having a cultural difference moment? Is that what's going on here?
So as I understand it, most cats here in the UK are outdoor cats. And in the US, it's far more common to have indoor only cats.
Right.
So I think the walking on a lead thing is more common in the US, just to let cats get some exposure to being outdoors, because more of them are indoors only.
And cats are known to be, that's a polite way of saying this, they're snobby. They're snobby. They've got their noses in the air. They care for nobody, and they will show you their bum if they're not happy with you. How do they take to actually being on a lead?
Well, it takes a it takes quite a bit of training. It takes a bit of practice. You got to kind of take it slow and steady because they're very independent, so they don't like wearing the harness. They don't like being on the leash, but you take time and you do a little bit every day for weeks, and then they get quite used to it.
Look at she's got a lot to say this morning.
I keep teasing her with treats, and so she's
and she wants a treat now. She's going to say, "Stop teasing me. This is preposterous." Now she's going to try and grab it out of your hand. My question is, does she ever jump out the basket?
So she has tried. I have her harnessed in, so she has a little lead, a tether, so she can't get out. But she has tried to jump out a couple times to chase a cat, once to chase a cat, and then once to chase a squirrel.
Which is fair.
Yeah.
She wants to do it.
But she is tethered in, so she's not going anywhere.
If you were to let her off the lead in the park, dogs come back, but do the cats? Would she just trot off?
I think she would probably just trot off.
Forever and ever.
And she's so bold and brave. And also, I don't want to say stupid, but she's brave. She's brave beyond sense, And then so she would go chase dogs. She would just wander into traffic.
I was going to say, because she's deaf, how difficult is that, and how dangerous is that? If she's out and about, she can't hear the traffic, but they must have. I mean, I don't know how cat senses work. Like,
she's very sensitive to vibration and air,
right?
For sure. Like she can often feel you coming up behind her just from your steps and stuff like that. But again, she's completely fearless. So like when I'm walking her on the sidewalk, she'll just decide to turn and walk out into the road with no care. So there's no way she could ever be out on her own. She always has to be on the leash. I always have to watch her closely.
Okay. Was she born deaf, or?
As I understand it, she would have had hearing when she was born, and then gradually lost it over the first 2 or 3 months. So I think she probably had a little bit of hearing when I got her, but we realized pretty quickly that she was totally deaf after that.
And you've written a book. It's called Sigrid Rides, An Adventure on Two Wheels. And front and centre on the book is Sigrid, not you. I did say, I mean, everyone came in to see Sigrid and immediately started cooing. And I thought, you must get tired of never getting any attention.
I'm used to it. I mean, I realize I'm the chauffeur. I'm the management, so it's all right.
You're second fiddle. So, yeah.
And when we were choosing that cover photo, I did ask my publisher. I was like, well, is it going to be me holding Sigrid? And they're like, well,
no,
you'll be on the back.
I would put you on the back, but no, you're going to be out of it. It would be a little weird if people came up to you and started stroking you, though, wouldn't it?
True.
So why did you write the book?
Well, we've had a pretty interesting journey, I think. I certainly have not had a normal life. Sigrid has certainly not had a normal life. The past 2 or 3 years have been really exceptional. We've done a bunch of bizarre, interesting things. And I think most importantly, we've made a lot of people happy. We've really kind of spread joy when the news has been a little bit grim over the past couple of years. And so it seems like it's worth telling that story. And I hope people enjoy it. So
tell me your story. When you say you've had an interesting life.
Well, I grew up in a pretty depressed former logging town where we had 24% unemployment when I got out of school. And I taught myself how to program. I went to Silicon Valley and had a pretty successful career as a tech person. That was a pretty big journey. I've had some mental health struggles where I was very, very depressed. And I've learned that being with Sigrid and making other people happy has also made me happy and really improved my life. And so I've had quite a journey there that I think is worth reading in addition to Sigrid's journey. And why did you come to London? It was initially for a job. So I came over for a startup that some friends started here. So. And do you still work in tech at all? I don't work in tech at all. I'm a full-time Sigrid chauffeur at this point. So we'll see how the book does, and we'll try and keep it up as long as we can. But yeah, I feel like, there's always a job for you in tech, to be fair. It's not going anywhere. Your skills are always in demand. I feel like there is a Venn diagram of some kind of tech to do with cat owners and pets that you can come up with that will make you a millionaire and also mean you can just hang out with Sigrid all day. We could probably come up with some sort of cat-based startup to provide some sort of, I don't know, maybe a cat walking service where we take them on bikes, very good. You never know. We could come up with something. Like a cat sitting thing. We saw the video on social that went viral a while ago with the dog, they pick up the dogs in the school bus. Yes. There could be a similar thing on bikes, harnesses, cat leads. Listen, I can see a big market here, a big opportunity. Did you get, Sigrid, you mentioned there about your mental health struggles and being depressed, and for lots of people who are experiencing severe mental health, and I know in America having a dog, or I don't know what they call them. Do they call them medical dogs? Companion dogs? There's a name for it. There's a name for it, yeah. Assistant dogs. Thank you. My producer's whispering in my ear. They call them assistant dogs. Because I had a friend in America when I lived there who did have one, and she had a special pass to take it into her lectures with her, where other animals obviously weren't allowed in lecture theatres. Right.
did you get Sigrid because you wanted that companionship when you were going through difficult times?
Well, to be honest, so I have another cat, a Bengal, who is 12 years old now.
What's the other cat called?
Her name is Ilva.
Ilva. Lovely.
Yeah, these are both Norwegian names.
Yeah.
And so Ilva was, I think, a little bit lonely because, I was going to work all day and she was home alone. And so I thought it would be, I love cats and I wanted another cat, but I also felt that she could use some company.
Right.
So that's the main reason that it went that way.
Your dedication in your book has just made sense, which when I read last week, I thought, oh, maybe that's a partner or someone that they love, and how nice that they're... The dedication reads as thus: to Ilva, who waits at home and is quick with a cuddle despite missing the adventure.
Yeah.
I was going to say, is there tension between Ilva and Sigrid now that Sigrid's a celebrity and Ilva is getting no attention? No one even knows what they look like?
There's always been a little bit of tension. There's very strong big sister, little sister energy between the two of them.
Right.
But Ilva is very much a homebody. Like she wants to sleep and eat, and I take her on rides occasionally. But she likes to be in the park and she likes quiet and peace.
Fine.
And that sort of thing.
Did the two of them ever get into the bike basket together?
So the bike basket won't hold both of them.
Fine.
But I did use, I have something called a buddy rider that kind of holds a cat near my chest. And then so I put one there and then I put Ilva in the basket and we did a ride that way. But it's just a lot of cat to handle. So
that is a lot of cat. And when people see you riding around London with Sigrid in the front, and Sigrid is a very noticeable cat because she's pure white, yes. She's fluffy, she's got blue eyes. What do people say to you? Do they stop you? Do they always I imagine they always want to come up and stroke your cat. Yeah.
I always say we go nowhere quickly.
No.
We get stopped constantly. People want photos. They want to, they have questions. And people, and like you say, she's pure white. So people see us coming, it can be a block away and it just draws the eye. And they're like, oh my gosh, there's a cat.
Yeah, because it's weird to see a cat on a lead, let alone one in a bicycle basket.
A pure white fluffy one who's at full attention. Yeah.
Do you think we're on the kind of cusp? Could we all start seeing cats out on leads more?
I don't know. We might. I mean, I know I've certainly inspired quite a few people to start taking their cats out, and at least a few people cycling with their cats. Which I would say, don't just throw your cat on a bike and take them out cycling. No. Be cautious.
Be safe.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, I think we'll see more and more of it. Certainly, as we have more working from home going on and stuff like that, people are spending more time with their pets, and I think we'll start seeing more people hanging out with their cats at parks and stuff like that.
Maybe. I'm dying to see it because I feel like the cats are a little bit calmer than the dogs. The cats don't jump up to you and jump on you. Yeah. The dogs do. I don't love it when the dogs do that.
Fair. Yeah.
So I feel like the cats are they've got more chill about them. They've got more zen. What is the plan for Sigrid and yourself? Are you going to stay in London? Are you going to conquer a new city and ride around that city? Are you going to keep going?
Well, we have a bunch of city trips planned.
Love that.
In fact, we'll be in York this week.
Amazing.
Which will be quite fun.
Great tea and cake.
Yeah.
In York. Yeah, lots of great tea and cake, like coffee shops.
Okay.
If Sigrid likes cake. Is she allowed cake?
She likes to sit in coffee shops. She's a big people watcher. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Does anyone ever say you're not allowed to bring your cat in?
What?
Okay, she's like, no, I would like some cake.
Everyone seems to be quite happy to have her in. Most places are Sigrid friendly. I wouldn't necessarily say all these places are pet friendly, but they're certainly Sigrid friendly.
Are they? Have you ever had anyone ask you to leave with the cat?
Only one time, and it was because it was a cafe in what was a nature reserve, and so you're not allowed to have pets in a nature reserve.
Fair.
So they kicked us out of the cafe, and I was like, okay, that's fair.
Do you know there's a cat cafe just around the corner?
Is there? Okay.
Do you know this?
I did not.
Literally on Great Portland Street, there is it called like Jaffa or something? I'm looking at the team as if they go there every day. They don't. It is literally just around the corner, and it's a cat cafe, so you can go and then play with cats while you have your coffee. And there's loads of cats there. So maybe you could take Sigrid there, and Java, thank you. Some quick Googling has been done. And she could, I don't know, she could hang out and
probably fight the other cats.
Oh, would she? Fine. She's not playing nice.
She's quite the diva.
I was going to say, is she a diva? Now she wants all the attention for herself.
We have gone by a cat cafe once when we were outside, and all the people in there saw us on the sidewalk and then came to the window, and then I felt bad for the cafe cats because they
weren't getting all the attention.
Yeah.
I say you should take Sigrid round to the cat cafe just around the corner, get a coffee, sniff it out, see how it goes down. If there's a brawl, let us know about it. Be very West Side Story, the Jets and the Sharks. Right, what's Sigrid going to do today? Take a nap?
I don't know. We might ride around a little bit. The weather is absolutely lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah. We might do a little spin down through the city and yeah.
Lovely. Why not? If you see Sigrid out and about, make sure you stop and say hello. Say hello to Travis as well, though. Don't ignore Travis. He's not getting any attention. Everyone here is just focused entirely on Sigrid. Sigrid, thank you for coming in. Lovely. She's turned her back to me. She does not care for me anymore. This is the fickle nature of cats. This is the problem. Are you going to give her a treat finally? Will she get one?
I suppose she deserves one.
I think it's fair. I think, can we give her a treat?
She's
because
done well.
I feel like she's been well behaved. So now she gets to chew. What is it? Is it something
So these are
disgusting?
They're called Webox Tasty Sticks.
Lovely.
And they are her favorite.
Amazing.
You want it?
Sigrid's going to have a munch.
There you go.
There you go. Happy as Larry. The time is 8:51.
BBC Radio London.